everyone, welcome back to another weekly update here at Amiens house. I'm Krista, and I thought I would just give you what's happened this week. So Jeff's had another round of chemotherapy this week, so Thursday and Friday, and I work on Fridays, so we weren't here the last couple of days, and we had a pretty busy week with swimming lessons and stuff on the beginning of the week, so we didn't do a whole lot. One thing that we did do was we're over here by the chickens. You can see them, and the pigs. So I thought I'd bring you over here. It's a wet and yucky day today. You can hear them all chatting away, and the pigs. Hi, Gustav. Are you saying good morning? Yeah. So you'll notice Gustav is with the ladies. So it's that time of year again. He gets to give them some loving. So we had one of the piglets, Sausage, go to the butcher. He was a herniated piglet, and he's becoming into the time where he is actually becoming mature, so he will actually start to have taint in his meat, if he is going to have taint in his meat. So we decided to take him to the butcher, and he will be called, I guess what's called a suckling pig, where you roast him at his full size. We haven't got him back yet. He went on Tuesday, and so that happened. And when that happened, we put Gustav in with the ladies, and then we moved the piglets over here to where Gustav was. So they've just switched sides. So we still have Bacon, which is the brown pig. Woo, where's my hand supposed to go? There. And back in the back is Walter. Both of them are also pigs to be used for pasture pork. So Bacon is a female and Walter is a barrow, which means that we won't breed either one of them. Well, Walter can't be bred or be of breeding, I guess you would call that. And Bacon doesn't have any of the kuni qualities that kuni buyers are looking for, so she is solely for pork. But we have to keep her away from Gustav because she is now coming into breeding age as well. So the hope is that we will keep them until they're almost a year, so 9 months to 12 months is when they kind of reach their full capacity of growth. So they were born in May. So we have until the spring with them, and with the adults behind us, it takes 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days for the ladies to grow piglets. So we will be expecting piglets around that time. I haven't even been around them enough to know if they're getting romantic or not, because I haven't really been here. But Gustav loves them. He rubs them with his nose, and I bet you he's missed having somebody with him because he's been by himself for a long time. But you can see, oh, he's checking her out. So you might be lucky, which will mean if it's the middle of December, so middle of January, middle of February, middle of March is 3 months, and then we have 3 weeks, which will take us into April, and 3 days. So about mid-April, we will have piglets, which is a good time, and then it takes us another 2-3 months to wean them. So mid-April, mid-May, mid-June, mid-July. So then we'll have piglets ready for mid-July. So that's exciting. The chickens, nothing new with the chickens. They're everywhere. You can see them. They're over there. They're in their house. Their house they seem to be happy. Nothing new with them. Still getting eggs. Pretty happy about that. What else happened in this week? Just let me tie up the gate. We had my in-laws, or sister-in-law and brother-in-law. They came by yesterday while both Jeff and I were in the city. Can't seem to do this with one hand. So we're over here back behind the barn, and this is a pile of walnut that we have. They're the tops of the walnuts from when we had the property logged 2 winters ago, I think. And so my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, they did some wood cutting there yesterday for the big wood stove, which was really kind of them. We're very thankful that people are coming to help and do different things while Jeff is unable to do them. I haven't managed the skill of a chainsaw yet. Keep saying that I'm willing. Not sure really how willing I am, but you know, things gotta get done, so I will do it if I have to. But yeah, my brother-in-law and sister-in-law came and cut and stacked, so we just need to get it on pallets and then we'll move it over to the wood stove. So this is the big wood stove that we heat the house with at the moment. It came with the house, and Jeff was so very, very, very excited to have this wood stove and be able to heat the house with wood, and I was not so excited and was kind of put my foot down and said I will never put wood in that stove because he wanted to keep it and never replace it, and I'm like, that's not a job I'm ever going to do. And the first year and second year I never did. When he was unable, he got someone else to do it and didn't ask me, which was kind. But never say never. I am now putting wood in the stove, and I have to tell you, it is the least favorite job. Most jobs I can figure out how to use my not so big body to get around moving heavy things or using leverage. My physiotherapy background helps a lot with that. But this wood stove is something else. We cut the wood in the winter of last year and some of the spring, and we cut it so at a size that Jeff could manage. They're big for me to manage, so it kind of takes everything, and I make sure my core is on when I lift, and I keep it close to my body so I won't hurt myself. But it takes everything I have to get it off the ground, and then to be able to throw it in this ratherly small hole. You would think it's big, it's not. And get it to the back of this stove, which is almost the length of me. Like I could almost lie down in it, it's so long. And I can't get those big pieces back there. So the plan is all the new pieces that are being cut will be cut smaller, so I will be able to manage them. But this is a very challenging job for me, and I do not enjoy it at all. And the other fact of the matter is that you smell like you have been standing in a fire for 10 days when you come off of it and go home. So the stench is strong when you do this. It was not my favorite part when Jeff did it, and it's definitely not my favorite part when I'm doing it. So this is my new, when I do chores, Ross does the chores sometimes and I do the chores sometimes, and this is part of chores, is filling this wood stove to heat our house. The house is not kept very warm, just above freezing. So we are lucky enough that we don't have to fill it constantly, but we do fill it or check it twice a day. And I will be happy when I don't have to do this job again. I don't mind the wood stove in the house. That's fine, excuse me. It's just how big everything is and how hard it is to get to the back. And then the smell. The smell is just not so great. So I should probably say why I didn't want to do the wood stove. It was mostly because Jeff didn't want to replace it, and I was like, you're gonna get so tired of that so quickly, and then he'll turn to me and be like, it's your turn. And I'm like, no, that's not something I want to do on a regular basis. And actually, thankfully, after the first season, the first winter, he could not wait for March to come and for that stove to be done and turned off, and realized that the romantic part of heating your house completely with wood and the responsibility that takes, the constant feeding of the fire and checking it, even if we were living here, is just a lot. And so he's agreed for another type of heat yay! So, yeah, that was why. It was just the constant responsibility of always having to feed it and making sure there's wood for it. And I don't mind the work and I don't mind having the stuff. It's just, it's never ending when you, all winter. And it's just a lot, especially if we have other animals and projects that we want to do. We don't plan on ever getting really rid of the wood stove. We hope to use it for heating the barn, and possibly if we ever get to the point if there's a pool, we might heat it with a pool, or supplementing heat for days when we might not have electricity or anything like that. So we're not getting rid of it, but maybe taking off the day-to-day heat is the kind of the plan. The last thing that I think happened this week is Rost finished all the basement windows. This is the first year we've actually closed them in. So they have, this one has particle board because that's what we had, but the front ones have plywood, and he's just nailed them in or screwed them in so that they are closed in. And then there is a window on the inside so there's about a space about this much. So again, kind of like our door system where there's a big insulating space between the outer and the inner. And I went down there to get the pumpkins for this afternoon's feed. And I walked down in the basement and I'm like, wow, it's hot down here. And I think it's because of the windows. We've actually closed the windows in. So the basement is an actually warm basement. So we're blowing warm air in. Before we were blowing warm air into a cold basement, and then by the time the air got up to the upper levels, it wasn't all that warm. And but now we have quite a warm basement, so it'll be interesting to see if the upper levels even feel more warm than they have been. All this stuff is great. I'm loving this warmth in the winter. So I think that's the weekly update. We're not doing anything this weekend. Jeff's obviously recovering, taking time to recover, and I'm really tired. So I am taking the next 2 days to just be at home, in my pajamas, and decorate the house with the kids, maybe make some different things, some cookies and stuff, and just watch some movies, maybe nap a lot, read some books, and just chill. We have another couple of weeks that are going to be really, really busy, and so I'm taking the weekend off from the house, and I'm just going to feed the animals and then go home. So I hope that you are having a good holiday season and that you're staying safe. We are going into red on Monday. Not that that overly affects our family because we don't go anywhere other than I go to work, but I'm on a one-to-one basis, so that's still okay. So stay safe, and I hope you're enjoying the holiday season as best you can, and we'll check you next week.